welcome to Ginger Hussies podcast episode 3. Today we're going to be talking about our favourite films of last year, 2018, and then talking about what we're looking forward to in 2019. My name's Roisin.
I'm Alison.
I'm Dillan.
Let's skip to the good bit.
So, obviously, the first film I can remember of 2018 is probably Black Panther. Thanks, Roisin.
Sorry.
We're going to leave that in.
That's fine.
Throw up in your mouth.
Get back, come on.
God, I know you don't like Marvel films, but...
But, yeah, I really like Black Panther. I thought Black Panther was really good. I think it could possibly be in my top favourite superhero films, or at least Marvel superhero films.
Oh, definitely up there. Michael B. Jordan is a great villain. Andy Serkis is the best in this film.
Oh, yeah,
I love
yeah.
somebody who goes 150% and just has a fun time.
Oh, and what's her name? Shuri? The daughter?
Shuri.
Shuri.
What's the name of our Eurovision entry last year?
Cool.
Shuri?
I think it could be her.
No,
She's from
Suri.
Wakanda.
It was close.
Oh, the actor's English, though.
Yeah, I know. Her name's
Oh,
not...
God,
her name isn't Shuri.
Oh, fair point.
Surely not. Sorry.
What?
That didn't work.
It didn't at all. But yeah, I really liked...
Staying in, though.
I really liked Black Panther, so... I just... And like, I'm quite happy that it's nominated for an Oscar, because I think it does deserve it.
And I'm so happy with the sheer amount of money it made. Like...
It's not about the money.
No, but we're going to talk about...
We don't need your money.
We're going to talk about Infinity War in a second, and domestically... Like, so in the US, Black Panther made more money than Infinity War.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well done.
Fun fact.
You said well done to me for knowing that, or well done to Black Panther for making the money?
I did look down at Black Panther's name. Yeah, but I like the hero of Black Panther, and I just like... I can't think of the character I don't like in Black Panther.
I can't think of a character in Black Panther.
Shuri.
Oh, yeah.
Okoye is fantastic as well. I love Okoye.
Oh, and I love the part in Infinity War.
The leader of
where,
the Dormelage.
Yeah, in Infinity War, where she... Who is it called? Is it Hulk? And then...
No, it's... Oh, right. Are you talking about when Scarlet Witch joins the fight?
No, but in the part in Infinity War where someone falls over and you just see her, like, looking down at them.
Oh, yeah.
Like, side-eyeing them to the extreme. It's amazing.
In the Hulk buster, yeah.
But then also, obviously, in Infinity War. We're now going on to Infinity War, everyone.
The biggest film of the year.
I knew that.
Venom.
We'll get to Venom.
And they're like, someone's, I think it's Scarlet Witch, they're like, oh, you're gonna die alone, blah, blah,
Oh, the
blah.
bad guy says you're gonna die alone, and then it's Black Widow and Okoye,
yeah.
like, she's not alone.
And then they beat her up.
Yeah, they do, yeah. They split her in half.
Wow, fun.
I mean, not for her, but...
You never know.
I think it's, like, you never know what she likes. But yeah, I also really thought Infinity War was good.
Yeah,
But it honestly, it broke my heart.
Yeah, but has a film... How many films this big live up to the hype? Live up to the actual hype of them?
No.
Don't believe the hype.
I'm really sorry.
We'll try and have a civilised conversation. Okay? I'm trying to talk about this film where this man who builds his own iron suit fights an alien from a moon. Can we have a serious conversation about that?
No.
Oh, fair enough.
Controversial opinion, I don't really like Loki as much as everyone else does. I just think he's alright.
Yeah, it's
Low-key, I agree.
I like how she's just a comedic.
This is all you are.
I've not seen any of the films, but the puns.
But I remember You're so stupid. I remember Heimdall dying upset me more than Loki.
I didn't feel anything for either of them.
Because the thing that annoyed, like Loki, I remember though, I was watching it with my flatmate of last year, and I knew that he loved Loki. I could tell what was going to happen as soon as Loki came forward and was like, trying to stab him. And then, so I like started to hold his hand. One thing I hated about this though is like it really had in my head, Peter Parker is a 15-year-old, and I have a very strong maternal instinct over
everyone.
Yeah. So when he was doing his swinging around, and when basically as soon as he left the school bus, I was like, no, Peter, just go to school.
I also liked how they brought back Red Skull.
Oh yes.
Did you do that because you literally did that because Red Skull's German?
I didn't mean to do it, but now
Oh yeah, Red Skull, yeah.
Oh, I just think you thought you'd gone really camp. Yes!
Yes!
If you're gonna do a German accent, you have to do it camp, don't you? It's more fun. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I did like that, but I hated Gamora. This is also spoilers for 2018 film. Sorry, everyone. Also,
The snap.
Gamora's dying. Oh, I really like Gamora.
It annoyed me that she didn't see it
Gamora
coming.
of a life.
It wasn't good.
No, it was the sheer effort to force that out.
I also, like, I'm very basic in terms of my Bucky being one of my favourite DC Marvel characters. Bucky's one of my favourites, so when Bucky died.
William Hill's mine. Because it's a Bucky's.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I do think that Infinity War was very, very good. I think it did live up to its level of goodness, shall we say. So then, Roisin, you've watched The Favourite.
I have seen The Favourite. It was weird because when I saw it, I didn't really know what I was expecting.
Yeah, I do want to watch Favourite. A little bit of Girl on Girl. That was a Hot Fuzz reference. But it does look good.
What is the actual story besides?
Yeah, because all I have seen is the Emma Stone and
it's
Olivia
like
Colman.
it's about Queen Anne has like this like is it called like the lady servant handmaiden?
Handmaiden.
That's the one.
Handmaiden.
Yeah, she's got one of them who is just her best friend, and then she's working away, and then Emma Stone comes along to work in their castle, and it's the cousin of the handmaiden.
Okay.
So she's like, "Oh, cousin, get me a good job, please." And she's like, no. But then the Queen has gout, and Emma Stone like runs off, finds some like herby remedy, and then she sneaks into the Queen's bedroom when there's no one there, and like puts this cream on her leg, and then the handmaiden comes in, and then the Queen's like, "No, actually that worked. Emma Stone, you have a good job now." And then it ends up the handmaiden goes away for a night, and then Emma Stone sneaks into the bedroom, and then they end up getting it on, and then the handmaiden walks in and she's like, "Oh, that's Emma Stone asleep in the Queen's bed." But before that,
That's Emma
we-
Stone.
before that we see the handmaiden and the Queen have like a fling thing because their husbands have gone off to war. And then it ends up being a fight between Emma Stone and the handmaiden to be the Queen's favourite.
Ah,
And
the favourite.
Yeah,
It
the
does
Queen's
sound
favourite
good.
lesbian lover.
Oh.
I watch it, I
And
think,
it's very
possibly
good.
when it like comes on Sky Go or whatever.
It's quite funny as well.
I imagine my dad's probably going to
very-
watch it as well when it goes on thingy. Because he watches a lot of films as soon as they go on Sky
And
Go.
Nicholas Holt's in it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Tony from Skinners!
Yeah.
Mm.
And the guy who's like,
And he's a bit of a dick.
What a day! What a glorious
Oh,
day!
yeah. He's really good, isn't he?
I really
I
like
like Mad
Mad
Max.
Max. Do you know who else I like in Mad Max? Tom Hardy. Venom coming soon. Anyway, A Quiet Place done.
A Quiet Place is maybe the best film I saw last year.
I really want to watch it.
It's so good. It's
I've
so good.
seen it.
John Krasinski, who you know from Jim from The Office, his first.
I've never watched The Office.
Yeah.
I've seen that. Something I've seen.
What?
You've seen
Yeah.
something!
Hey.
I bet it was a shock when she'd watched The Favourite.
But this is his directional debut, and he cast himself in it. What a guy! No, but he also cast his wife Emily Blunt in this.
Oh, I love her.
And she, oh my god, is she so good in this film? She's so good in this film. The premise is
You
basically,
can't make any noise.
yeah,
What a
Yeah.
noise.
I would,
yeah.
I
If
would
you make
die.
any noise,
I would die.
but there are right. I'll say there's some
If I
plot holes.
fart in my sleep, am I going
That's
to
what
die?
happened. What happens if somebody farts in their sleep? You just die. Anyway, let's not get. It's a good film.
Because you like just make little noises in your sleep, like little like.
Please stop picking apart my favourite film.
Talk?
I do, but
Also, I do just sometimes.
Or sneeze.
I'll just make noises. I'll
Or
just make
burp.
noises.
if you watch the film, they do a lot of good soundproofing. There's a lot of little things they do, like little details are quite good.
I do really want to watch that film. To be
It's
fair.
brilliant. It's so. Also, one of the things that you see it in the trailer that one of their kids has a hearing aid, so they already knew sign language, which is one of the reasons why they've
that's-
survived so long, and it's really really good.
Has either of you two watched? This is a really big change, but The Incredibles 2.
Not yet.
Oh, it's so good. I love The Incredibles 2.
I think it's as good as the original.
Yeah, which I think is a
On
shock.
par. Also, I think they update it quite well with a lot of
References.
yeah, and the humour's good.
Because I think it's...
Does it start straight after the last one?
Exactly,
Like,
like the second.
Yeah.
Because then also it's a lot
With
of
the
it...
mole.
Right, so you know how how it ends with the mole man going, "I'm the Underminer," and then the film starts with them getting rid of the Underminer.
Ah.
But then also, like, one of the things I really liked about it is it makes a lot of, like, small comments about like,
Gender roles.
yeah, but also, like, the Trump thing and, like, big businesses being able to get away with things. And I really like that, because obviously Disney is a big company, and Disney could easily just shy away from making any comments about Trump. But I like that they've done it, because I think we do need to start arguing against Trump.
Yeah.
Also, I would say, I think Violet's a lot better in this film than she is in the first one.
I think also, you really get to
For
see...
a lot of reasons.
Jack's my favourite, and I think you get to see so much of Jack.
Yeah.
Jack's personality comes out.
I still love how all their names go to what they are. So good. But
Dash's
like,
name is like Dashel. Dash's
Yeah,
name is so weird.
yeah,
Yeah.
but Dash is fast. Violet's it's like ultraviolet, and then Jack's is a jack of all trades. He does everything.
One
It's
thing
great.
I love about my family is, so ignoring one sibling, my oldest sister has dark hair like Violet. My other sister has blonde hair like Dash. I'm ginger like Jack.
That's me and my sisters as well.
And ours goes in age order though, so we win.
I'm so sorry.
So anyway,
Anyway, watch
Ours
Incredibles
is
2,
the
it's good.
opposite.
It
Yeah.
was worth the wait.
that works. Okay, so then another film that only Rasheen has watched is Mary Poppins Returns.
10 out of 10.
I
I understand why people don't like the message.
This is just people, yeah, because I think I've spoken to you about it.
Yeah.
Because I obviously have never watched it. I do want to watch it because I like, it's Emily Blunt, isn't it, again?
Yeah. Oh, she's
What
so good.
I do love Emily Blunt. But
I understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, it's the songs make up for it. They make it okay.
I've
and
heard
it,
though that at the end, like,
and
while
it
I
kind
think,
of shows that it doesn't matter about the money as well. Because, like, fair enough, you don't need money, but you do need money. But
I
they
do
go
think
about
that's
it.
more of a realistic thing.
Yeah,
Because,
but
like,
it's a children's musical.
it's better to be happy than have, like, loads of money. But also,
Let's go fly a kite.
in this capitalist society we live in,
Yeah.
if you don't have money, you are going to struggle.
Yeah.
So, like, you don't need ridiculous amounts of money. No one needs ridiculous amounts of money. Bring down the bourgeoisie. But you do... but, you, like, in this, like, how society is, you do need money. So I understand Mary Poppins Returns saying that, but obviously child's film, I prefer
Yeah.
to just...
But
but yeah,
it's still a good
It's a-
storyline, and I liked all the references to the first one, and I liked that they had a kind of Bertie character,
yeah,
and then they had
Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke in it, and
then,
he was singing again.
I'll just talk about Deadpool 2 because you haven't watched it, have you?
No.
I-
The trailer looked funny. I enjoyed the trailer.
I do
But-
think Ryan Reynolds is very funny, but as...
Very
Oh,
thick.
Dylan is back. As
Hello.
Dylan says a lot, Deadpool 2 is probably going to age.
Well, I think Deadpool. It doesn't mean
Not
they're
Deadpool
good,
2,
but
Deadpool
in
as a
general.
whole.
Like Austin Powers.
So, yeah, Deadpool 2, I think it is good, and I did laugh in it. Also, and, like, obviously James McAvoy's in it.
Beautiful.
Is he?
He's, like, just a little cameo.
When?
I can't remember, but I remember being
I
like...
can't remember this film,
Yeah, I really can't remember Deadpool 2. I remember enjoying it.
but I can remember Deadpool 1.
Yeah, but I can remember Deadpool 1 because I did it as a case study in media, so I've watched it about 600
Ah.
times. The first Deadpool, I can quote along with the entire film. I've wrote essays on that film. It's...
I don't know.
That's what it's like to do media. You get to write essays
I
on
think I'm
Deadpool.
getting a little bit sick of Deadpool shit. I don't know, I feel like I might be just getting out of the age of the demographic of which Deadpool hits. if
I
you know what mean.
think, basically, I really like Ryan Reynolds. I find him really funny.
I agree.
But his shouting voice actually, like, strikes terror in my bones. And I'm not, like... Yeah, I don't like people shouting, especially not men shouting. So, Ryan Reynolds, stop. You're a funny guy, I like you, but let's
I
not
think he
shout.
shouted like that when he found out that his wife looks like Hugh Jackman.
What?
Did you not see that on Twitter?
No.
Somebody got Hugh Jackman and did one of those things which, you know, like turn you into like switch what you look like with your girl, and they did it to Hugh Jackman and it looks like Blake Lively.
Who wouldn't want a wife who looks like Hugh
Oh,
Jackman?
he was very happy about it.
And then, you want to talk about Ready Player One?
All right, yeah. Ready Player One. Steven Spielberg. How you continue to fail ever since. Has he made a good film in the millennium? When was Minority Report? Maybe. But Steven Spielberg is just not. Ready Player One. Oh my god, this film. It's difficult to look at because a lot of it's set in this virtual reality, so it's very uncanny valley. Like everything looks a bit off. Everything looks a bit not quite right. The cast is good as well. So you got Ty Sheridan, who most people might recognise him. He was in he plays Cyclops in the most recent X-Men film, Apocalypse.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and Olivia Cook, who I love. Olivia Cook is the best. People probably know her best from Bates Motel,
One of my best friends' last name is Cook.
Yeah.
the one with the tank. Yeah, she's the best. I love her. And
I don't know why I pictured like an army tank.
just a little one.
Watching the same Bates Motel.
Just a little one. But my problem with Ready Player One is it's got this thing where pop culture. Do you know this? Do you know this? Well, if you don't know it, then you're bad because you don't know it. And I'm like, you don't know it. Apart from one bit in the film where they do The Shining, and I like that bit. I like the bit of The Shining. Don't know what else to say. Alison's left. The structure's good.
What do we do? What's next? Ant-Man. Another one I have not seen.
Right. Ant-Man and the Wasp is one of the most forgettable Marvel films I think I've ever seen, but Paul Rudd's nice.
Beautiful. Again, another beautiful actor.
Fucking asked me to say it again. But, it was nice. Michelle Pfeiffer, I love Michelle Pfeiffer. I'm glad to see her back in stuff again. I like Michelle Pfeiffer. Not that she's even stopped being in stuff. I haven't seen her in something in a while, and I like Michelle Pfeiffer. I like that song that says her name.
What song is it?
Riptide.
That's the one.
I was gonna
Oh,
dance
yeah.
in the dark.
I was trying to think what song it is. I didn't want to say anything. I got one.
It fell into shambles.
We didn't know what was happening.
But we tried.
I think I've got lopsided
If it
ears.
helps, you can tick off Ready Player One and Ant-Man and the Wasp, and we saw
Yeah.
Riptide. I
Yeah.
did.
I listened.
So that's going to be really fun for me to edit. Thanks, everyone.
You're
Not
welcome.
that bad. I did scream.
Yeah. Anyway, so I haven't watched Solo.
Right, Solo's
Random Solo.
really mediocre. The only bit I'm going to say about this film, just because I hated it that much, right? So he has to escape some, authorities when he's trying to leave a planet.
I haven't watched Solo. I think I probably will at some point.
I won't.
Machine tried to watch episode 1 of Star Wars, hated it.
I fell asleep.
I was clocking in.
I'll be
wasn't it?
honest,
I was
yeah.
going to work.
So we're changing the series of that is Machine's watching all the Marvel films because they're a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
I like Star Wars, but Machine doesn't.
I understand. I like Star Wars.
I haven't seen it.
Now we can talk about Machine's favourite thing, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Such a good film. I cried during the whole thing. We got into the first 5 minutes, and when he was walking on stage into the crowd, I just thought, I had goosebumps. I was crying. It's just, And Rami Malek is bloody amazing in it. He literally has Freddie down to a T.
I do really want to watch
It's
it.
so good.
Do you think he'll win? Do you think he'll win the Oscar?
I hope so.
I think he could.
I think he really could. Yeah.
Because he's
He
won a
was
lot
amazing.
of awards for it, hasn't he? Loved
But
him
some
ever
of
since
it's-
Night of Museum Nightmare.
But saying that, if you had a SAG Awards, Screen Actors Guild,
Yeah.
right? So Emily Blunt won for her performance,
yeah.
but she hasn't even been nominated in the Oscars. So which is
loads
weird.
of people
Sometimes
are annoyed about it though, aren't they?
sometimes
but I
it's,
think
they usually correlate.
I think it is because the Oscars don't take horror seriously very often.
Yeah, there's a lot of things they don't take seriously.
Yeah, so because it's a shock that Black Panther's nominated. And
Yeah,
obviously last year there was Get Out, but at the same they rarely ever take horror unless it is proper social issue pow in the face.
The reason they put Black Panther on it was because they announced last year a bit ago that they were going to have a new category called Best Popular Film, which everyone was like, oh, this is so you don't have to nominate Black Panther for Best Picture. And they were like, all right, we'll scrap it for now. And then they put Black Panther for Best. So I feel like it's a lot of damage control. The Academy is very far behind.
Speaking of people who should have an Oscar, Tom Hardy.
Venom.
I loved Venom. I really because I've watched it quite a few times since because I love it, and I think very much if ever I feel a bit sad or a bit stressed out, I put Venom on. And I understand that it's not a good film.
No, I get that.
It is very.
It's not.
It's very stupid in terms of the storyline and stuff like that, but it's enjoyable. And I don't, like, obviously, yeah, I do enjoy films that are, like, arty and, like, well thought out. I'm really, like, bad-mouthing Venom right now. But, like, also, sometimes you do just want to watch a film for the sake of just having fun.
And that's why I haven't seen anything.
Yeah. Where, like, Venom is a fun film.
Span.
It's a fun film. I love Tom Hardy, and I'm Riz Ahmed.
Alright, I did like Venom. What the parts I really liked about Venom was Tom Hardy, by far. By far the best thing about that. He gives it its all. Like, he's insane in this film.
Yeah, but he put loads of effort in, because there's all the stuff
yeah,
where he
you can
made
tell.
he made them rewrite the script and stuff, because he was like, it just doesn't make sense.
Still doesn't impact. My problem, I feel like, right, the first half an hour drags a little bit, I think. For me, like, I don't know.
Anytime I get to look at Tom Hardy, it doesn't drag. Look, in my kitchen, that Tom Hardy calendar makes washing up go so quick.
Also, I do feel like the second act is missing.
Yeah, I do. I agree with what you mean about that. Like, I do think that they
need to make it more clear how Venom turns to
supporting,
enjoying being with Eddie.
But I think it is a sort of thing, like, I don't know if this is a fan theory, but it's the whole thing of, like, he's looking in, well, it is not a fan theory, him looking in Eddie's memories, but him looking in Eddie's memories and seeing how lovely Eddie is, like, with the homeless people, with standing up against, is it the Life?
The Life Foundation.
Life Foundation.
Yeah.
Standing up against them, even though it literally cost him everything. And just, like, I think that is what it is. I just think they don't really pay attention to that in the film.
It's like, I like the final character, I just didn't see how he got there.
I also think I expected a lot less of it from the trailer. Because the trailer, obviously, with the, like...
I will say this, it is so much better than I ever thought it was gonna be.
The trailer made out it was going to be very, like, edgy and dark, whereas obviously it's more like... I'd even say it's sort of like a buddy cop sort of feel.
That works, yeah.
Yeah, like, it's two friends fighting crime, living it up.
Sitting in a hot tub 5 feet apart.
That is just sharing some more theory about Venom and Eddie. But have you seen that thing about the deleted scene where I'm gonna have to bleep this? Basically, they're in a taxi and Eddie's complaining about his life, and Venom's like, "Oh, you just need to try harder not to be a." And then Eddie's like, "Okay."
There is a bit I really liked where he's talking about, I think he can jump off a building. And then he cuts and he goes to a skyscraper, and then he just heard Venom go, "Puh."
He goes to an elevator. And then also the bit with the hands, where he's putting the hands up, and then he's like, "You're making us look stupid now."
Yeah. I enjoy a lot of that.
I just think it's really funny. I just really love them.
I think a lot of the humour does work. Some of the lines are a bit weird.
And then Dillan wants to talk about how Upgrade is a better film.
No, I haven't finished with Venom yet.
Oh, okay.
Right? No, I'll say this, right? It made a lot of money and didn't do really well, but so it's getting a sequel. For me, I think they need to make, the sequel has to be better. If the sequel's as good as this, they're done. The sequel has to be better, if you know what I mean.
You're really making me sad.
No, but it's just true, isn't it? The sequel does have to be better for this to carry on. I mean, you got Woody Harrelson in the worst wig I've ever seen, but you've got Woody Harrelson.
You've got Tom Hardy.
Yeah, if they got Tom Holland in it, people would watch it.
Have you seen the stuff? Tom Holland, I think, has said that he wants to fight Venom, but 100%, Tom
Hardy would win.
Yeah.
The size of him.
Tom Hardy
Snap Tom Holland like a twig.
Yeah, and then also, Tom Holland is 15 in it, as if Venom and Eddie are going to be like, "Oh yeah, let's beat up this 15-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, no.
They've kind of ruined that because of the ages. It will never work,
Like,
will it?
Maybe Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, that would possibly work, but also Venom would just
I want
eat
to see
him. Him.
Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man in a film we'll talk about later. There's a sequel that could have him in, which I want it to have him in.
So Love, Simon, I thought Love, Simon came out the year before. I think it did, didn't it?
I don't know when
I don't know.
Apparently, according to the list of films, Love, Simon came out this year.
I think it came out
Fair enough.
early last year.
Yeah, possibly
So
it
it was
was
like-
England this year, maybe.
Yeah.
Last year. But,
I thought it was Netflix.
no.
No.
I really thought Love, Simon was good. I liked it. One thing I didn't like, though, was when he was outed to the whole school, all his friends literally just abandoned him. And, like, that's
Yeah,
probably one of the
that's
hard...
mean.
Like, I understand you're a bit annoyed with him, but that's probably one of the hardest things he could go through, being outed, and you're all just leaving him. Not on, man.
Also, who can afford Starbucks every day? Not me.
I did like Love, Simon. Really thought it was good. Would recommend.
10 out of 10.
Maybe 9 out of 10. So... It takes a lot to please me. So Dylan has a lot of views about Jurassic World.
I don't have a lot of views. I have one.
Every single time it comes up, you rant to me about it.
No, it's just a terrible, terrible, terrible film.
It's a good ride at Universal Studios, though.
That's Jurassic Park.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
They all merge into one.
They don't.
Well,
Jurassic
I
Park's
haven't
good.
seen
Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom 2, I don't know, whatever it is. It's bad. It's bad. Right, it's 2 films. There's a film where they have to get things off an island, and there's a film where they're all stuck in a mansion. And it's weird. And also, why in this film do they keep doing this thing where they're going, right, we need to sell these dinosaurs to help out the military? This is a plot point in Jurassic... Yes! They're like going, because drones can't do everything, and bombs won't work, but if we send in a dinosaur, they won't know what hit them.
Well, there'd be like a dinosaur hit us.
Yeah. I'm like, how is that?
You can see a dinosaur from a distance. You'd be like, oh shit, a dinosaur.
It's just stupid.
To be fair, I have heard Jurassic World is not very good. I watched the other one and I quite enjoyed it, but I think it was very much like nostalgia.
Do you know, I think I enjoyed Jurassic World in the same way you love Venom. I understand it's not very good, but I love it. If you know what I mean, like.
But we're gonna
nostalgia
we're gonna have
is
to
huge on that.
continue.
All right, what's next?
So neither of you two have watched Beautiful Boy, have you?
Nope.
Oh, so
Is that the one with Thingy Chalamet?
Timothy Chalamet.
That's the one.
So it's Timothy Chalamet and Steve Carell.
Oh, I do. You told me.
Yeah, I told you. 'Cause I honestly think this film has literally just been ignored by the Oscars, but I really think it was an amazing film because I watched it and I was expecting it just to be like, I knew it was about like a boy who gets addicted to drugs and like its effect on his dad and stuff like that. But also, I didn't expect it to be as upsetting as it was because like I ended up crying and Timothy Chalamet is really good in it and so is Steve Carell.
He's a beautiful boy.
Yeah, I love Timothy Chalamet. Like, I do think possibly my wanting for Timothy Chalamet to be nominated for an Oscar is slightly blinded by my...
Give him the Oscar. I don't know what I'm doing, I'm sorry.
It's slightly blinded by the love I have for him, but yeah. And now Dylan's annoyed because I accidentally skipped Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse is so good. Spider-Man to Spider-Verse. Right, Sony are trying to patent the animation for it 'cause it's that good.
Yeah,
the animation is amazing. Oh my...
I really want to watch it, but no one would go with me. So...
I would have gone.
Well, you didn't, did you? You went to see it alone.
No, I didn't.
You went to see it alone.
I
Dylan
didn't.
has no friends.
I mean...
Pass it on.
The thing is, I didn't even go with a friend, so I can't... I forced my sister. But, no, it's really... Right, you got Chris Pine. Like, some of the...
Croops
you got...
poop noob.
I forgot.
Replace
God.
vowels with oob and you have croops poop noob.
Croops poop noob.
Right, I give up. Spider-Verse is the best film that came out this year.
So now we're going to go on to films we're looking forward to for 2019. Won't be any spoilers here because
No
we have
one
potential
seen any of them.
potential spoilers.
potential
In
spoilers.
case we
but-
guess the entire movie.
Yeah, but I don't think we will.
Oh, Rasheen
Unlikely.
might.
Because we're also going to have to
I'm
be,
an expert in these.
we're going to have to be relatively quick with this now.
Is it just gonna
Speed
be
round.
see it, not see it? We'll just do that.
So Captain Marvel.
See it.
Stop. Captain Marvel looks very good.
It does look
I
amazing.
love Brie Larson, also Jude Law.
I love Brie.
Shut up.
Sorry.
It looks very, very good. Like I think.
You've had 2 cans.
Yeah, I know. Calm down, Rasheen. Anyway, but yeah, I think it looks very good. I'm very interested in it. Is it Marvel's first?
Female-led, yes. Also, talk about that.
Feminism.
They're just about to go into production for Black Widow,
I don't really care.
and apparently it's gonna be R-rated.
I don't like Scarlett Johansson.
Oh, okay.
Don't take roles that are made for minorities, man.
Fair enough. You hit Emma Stone then?
Emma Stone apologised for it.
Oh, Scarlett Johansson not.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson hasn't mentioned it and keeps doing it.
Fair enough.
Anyway,
Avengers Endgame, starring Scarlett Johansson.
I am excited to see that, but it's also that whole thing has made my opinion of Black Widow really go down, and I used to really like Black Widow.
Do you think Endgame will be the start of superhero films?
Yeah,
The
there's been a
beginning
few-
of the-
started.
There's been a few superhero films already.
No, but
This is the
will
first
be
one.
be the beginning of the end of them. You know, like how westerns were a big thing and whatever. And like, do you think this will start the
Yeah, I really
slope
do.
downwards? Well, this is the climax to it all. And I think after this, everyone's like, "Well, we've done with that." Laughing at the word climax. I just
Maybe we were, maybe we weren't. You can tell.
You were.
But I do think this is going to mark the end. The end game, you could say.
Because I think the next thing to take over from superhero films, it's looking like it's going to be horror. Horror's really ramping up.
I hate that.
Is it horrifying?
I think I will enjoy it.
What have you taken before today?
But I think...
I don't think I've done my insulin today.
I think... Yeah. I think maybe...
That's what happens?
I think...
Yeah, you got hyper.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry. This actually might be the last episode. Anyway. But yeah. Endgame, I'm excited for. I hope Bucky isn't really dead.
None of them are really dead.
I really don't want Captain America to die either.
The rule with comic books is nobody ever dies.
I don't want anyone to die, so that's good. So it's... What is all to be alone?
What?
Star Wars Episode 9, I've not seen much about. I don't actually know how excited I am.
I don't think I am.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Look, I was really excited.
Yeah, I'm not either. I don't get it.
Anyway, how was Phantom Menace?
I'm really, I was excited for The Last Jedi, and then Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Force Awakens was quite good, and then Last Jedi...
Wasn't. I mean, it wasn't terrible, it was just...
It was just... And then I'm just sort of concerned that now it's just going to be again, like...
I feel like both directors had no idea what the other two were going to do. There's no communication going on there of going, right, so I'm going to do this. And I go, okay, I understand where you're going. I can take those plot points and move on from there. It's kind of like, all right, well, I'm going to do this. So, whatever. So I just don't know.
I just don't know what to expect. So I'm struggling to be excited for something.
Maybe when a trailer comes out, I will be excited, but while there's nothing, it's kind of like... Because they're going to wait till Avengers is done, because it's all Disney, so they're stepping on themselves if they bring a Star Wars trailer out now. So.
I like the cast, because I like Daisy Ridley, I like John Boyega, I like Oscar Isaac. And I don't know. I just don't know what I expect. But anyway, Toy Story 4 is coming out. I didn't realise they were doing another one. I thought Toy Story 3 was the last one.
Yeah, but they're bringing out these sequels now. I don't know. The thing is, right, I thought it was weird that we're doing a Toy Story 3, and then it was great. So I'm willing to give them...
3.
I do think that every Toy Story film has been good. Like,
I agree.
Yeah. So I think it's going to be good. It is just sort of like, I literally in my head, I was like, Toy Story 3 is the last one. So then I'm like shocked that they're bringing out Toy Story 4.
Excluding Cars, maybe. Like, the first Cars is good, but, like, the Cars sequels, Pixar, very... Like, a bad Pixar film is very good. Like, people think The Good Dinosaur is a bad Pixar film, but it's a very good film, if you know what I mean.
So now let's talk about Spider-Man Far From Home, which, again, very excited for. Really like where they're going with Spider-Man. Like the John Hughes vibes.
I really like that they're using a villain we haven't seen before.
And also Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, brilliant casting.
I actually might watch this one. I think that does look good. Yeah. I just wanted to put that out.
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Also, just because Mysterio is so mad. It's just so stupid and so insane, and I just like it. And I just like that Marvel's just like, yeah, it's got a big fishbowl for an head. Do it. Let's just do it. Just go for it. Why not?
I
just like that. I like that's where they're at. Just do it.
I really think it looks good. And like, I love Zendaya. I can't remember the name of the guy who plays Ned.
Oh.
I'll put it in the end.
I was so happy to find out that, you know the surname of that character? It's Ned Leeds.
Aww.
That's where we live.
We got Leeds! And then there's all obviously the live action Disney coming out, Aladdin, Lion King, Dumbo. I'm excited for Dumbo and Lion King. I don't know how I feel about Aladdin.
I'm excited for Aladdin.
I'm excited for it, but I'm also concerned because obviously I loved it as a kid. I love Robin Williams, and I'm just concerned it's not going to live up to.
Right.
Yeah.
When you talk about Aladdin, I've liked everything so far. I'm just waiting for the genie. The genie is where I'm going to be. I'm waiting for the next trailer where it's going to show me the genie, and that's where I'm going to be like, oh yes, or no. I don't know about you two. Like.
And then also Nisha.
I want to see who's playing Jafar. Who's playing Jafar?
Who's playing Jafar?
I
think it's somebody quite.
Dylan Rollins.
No way.
But then also Dumbo. I don't like bits Tim Burton because
I don't like Dumbo.
I love Dumbo.
I love Dumbo.
Like obviously yes, it's very problematic. like extremely
Yeah.
problematic. But like as a story, ignoring that, it is nice. And obviously, it is hard to ignore that when that is so prominent. But I do think, Tim Burton is the sort of director that you like when you're like an edgy teenager, and then you grow out of him so quick. Because like,
When was his last good movie? Frankenweenie's good.
yeah,
Frankenweenie.
it's quite sad though.
That's Tim Burton, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alright.
Because then I think Dumbo is going to just be the same stupid, oh, it's sad, it's really dark, and then when it's in the circus, oh, it's so bright and happy. And it's just the same thing over and over.
It's always like, oh, look at these bright colours on these dark. It's just the same thing over and over. Like, alright, we get it, we've seen it. Like,
But anyway.
And The Lion King.
Yeah, I had
Don't
a really good...
skip over The
I
Lion
had a
King.
really good segue there, but apparently I'm not allowed to use it.
No, because you're not skipping over one of the greatest films
The
ever
Lion
made.
King is going to be amazing.
The Lion King is probably going to be good, yeah, but I don't think The Lion King is as good as everyone makes out to be.
The Lion King is a fluke. Okay, it was the B team of the Disney team at the time. The A team was working on Pocahontas. All right, the things just happened to come together well for The Lion King. Somebody, I can't remember who it was. Was it something Rice? Can't remember his name. He just knew Elton John.
Tim Rice.
Yes, he was like he knew Elton John.
I
I know,
understand.
my
You
musical
can try to
lyricist.
convince me as much as you like that Lion King is good. I just don't.
If this film is good, it will crack 2 billion easy. I also think.
It's all about the money, Dylan.
No. I'm talking. If you're talking about just Disney this year, that from 4 films they could make 8 billion.
They're going to make ridiculous
Like
amounts.
Yeah.
Endgame, if it's good, cracks 2 billion. Star Wars, if it's good, cracks 2 billion. And Toy Story, if it's good, cracks 2 billion. And so is The Lion King.
But then moving on from Disney to a lot of a darker theme, really. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood by Quentin Tarantino. I really don't like the idea of doing this film. I get that it's telling about the 70s, is it? 70s, 60s in Hollywood. But it's also talking about Charles Manson. And knowing Quentin Tarantino, he's going to show the murder. I can't remember what that pregnant actress was called who Charles Manson killed. I'll add that in again. I'm really sorry for not knowing it. But he's going to show that in some horrible, gruesome way, and I can't stand the idea of watching that. Like, that is I just don't like Quentin Tarantino, and the idea of that just upsets me.
Is the guy who's been cast as Manson? I think it's the same person who's been cast as Charles Manson in Mindhunters. Do you watch Mindhunters on Netflix?
No.
Um,
I know that Leonardo DiCaprio's in it, and I don't know.
I thought Leonardo DiCaprio was going to play H.H. Holmes in the Martin Scorsese film about H.H. Holmes.
Well,
White Devil
I
in the
did
City.
forget
it's
that
called.
Leonardo DiCaprio can only be in one.
No, I just...
I think
know.
DiCaprio's in it because DiCaprio's in a lot of Tarantino films.
I know, but I also think, when I think Scorsese, I'm like DiCaprio as well.
I do think that DiCaprio's in this. Correct me,
I don't know either. I'm pretty sure he's going to be in the I'm pretty sure he's H.H. Holmes. I don't know, I think he's easier to do anything about because he was so long ago, if you know what I mean. I feel like Manson's still...
Manson's too.
Yeah, we'll get on to another film that's still a bit close, where, if you want to...
Then It Chapter 2 I'm quite excited for because I
I'm
enjoyed
looking
the
forward
first
to
bit.
that. Yeah.
And obviously James McAvoy.
The only thing that worries me about that is, you know, the original, where it was, I think, was it a telly movie? It was a similar kind of
Yeah,
thing. It
it's
was like,
a
anyway,
TV
the
movie.
adult part
I
of
haven't
it...
seen the original.
No, never mind.
It's not very good. But the adult part of it is really boring and not very good. It lets it down. It's the child part that's really good.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but obviously with updated writers and stuff, to be honest, it's like, I'm 90% sure this is going to be a good film. The cast straight away is so good. Like Chastain and McAvoy and Bill Hader is going to be in it as well. Like, I just really... And the Stephen King renaissance is doing really well and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I do. I think that's going to be good. And then there's Lego Movie 2.
Roisin.
Basically.
I mean, I don't know. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. I'm not really.
What? You were excited for it before this.
I'm excited about the first one.
Yeah, I think the first
I like
one's
the
good, but
first
I'm
one.
concerned that
And the second one's
is
like
gonna-
the first one.
There's already been some early reviews out for it. Apparently they're really good.
And then Joker, obviously, hardly anyone knows anything about it.
Oh,
Other than, what's his name? Quentin.
Joaquin Phoenix. I have no idea what this is.
Yeah, literally. But I do think he's going to be a good Joker. Because he's quite a good
I
actor.
just think it's going to be a standard crime movie where the main guy is funny-ish.
I do think... I just think they should leave Joker to rest for a bit. Because I think people who are still fans of DC now, because I think, while obviously, God rest his soul, Heath Ledger, I think that everyone is still hung up on him.
He was brilliant.
Yeah, he was very good.
If you're not a fan as a Joker, as a fan of a movie villain.
Yeah,
he's brilliant.
I think basically people are not going to be like a massive fan of the Joker for a while, because you're going to need to wait until people have sort of like moved on from Heath Ledger.
Do you know what annoys me about this as well? One of the reasons, right, so two of my favourite heroes are Batman and Spider-Man. The reason I like them is they both have the biggest, by far, they both have the biggest like rogues gallery. They have so many villains who are all worthy of having a film themselves. They have so many of them. Like, so many of the heroes have like 3 villains tops. Some of them only even have 1 worth even talking about. Batman and Spider-Man have literally in their 20s. So if you have a character like Batman who has so many villains, why do you keep focusing on this one when he has so many worth of the film?
Exactly.
Give another a chance.
I do think that they just need to stop with the Joker for now. So now, is anyone excited about the new Godzilla film?
So excited. It looks so good. It looks really good.
I don't think I've seen anything about it.
I haven't seen it.
Have you not seen the trailer?
No.
Okay, so if you follow anything a little bit of Godzilla, like you might know a bit like it's not just him. There's a lot of monsters. He's got a big bad guy. I can't remember his name. King Ghidorah or something. It's dragon, got 3 heads, lightning, cool. But it's the fact of like, because of the effects you can do now and the scale you can make these. Also, the cast is great. Millie Bobby Brown.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Oh, what's her name? Vera something. She's Norma Bates in Bates Motel.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
She's so good. Thomas Middleditch is in it, and Ken Watanabe, and I think Carl Urban's in it. No, not Carl Urban. If you watch Friday Night Lights, the guy who plays Coach Taylor. Carl Chandler.
Every name
No, it's
he
not
mentions, it adds about 10 minutes onto me editing.
I'm so sorry. Forget Coach. Just put Coach Taylor. People know it is. But it just looks so good. If you enjoy a monster movie, big monsters fighting in a city, it's everything that you need it to be.
I do think it'll be a thing which I watch when it's on like the Skybox. I just don't think I'll go to the cinema to watch it.
I think it was the best trailer of last year. I will say that. Just watch the trailer.
I am excited for Detective Pikachu. I didn't know how I'd feel about Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu, but as soon as he spoke, I was like, yes, Ryan Reynolds should be Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, might be a little PG Deadpool-y, but I think it's good. You need somebody who you can take seriously in a completely stupid setting.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Because it's like what people say about Jack Black. Like any setting he's in, you're just like, okay, fine.
Yeah,
and
Jack Black's there.
I think Ryan Reynolds is becoming that person.
And also the fact that if you did any of you two play the games when you were little?
I played some. That my sisters would play for them at night.
When I played them to death when I was like between the ages of about 5 and 10. I would play them to death. So to see them to be live action but still cartoony in essence, where it's not live action where they've changed them completely. They look what they should look like, but live action. So as soon as you see like Charizard, you're like, yeah, I'm in. I'm sold. This is he should look. They should look like that. That's what he looks like. I want to watch it just to see that. It looks so fun.
See, one film that I wasn't actually I didn't really know anything about until like literally just a bit ago was Shazam.
Shazam.
Yeah, I did not. I've not
clue about
actually
that.
properly heard anything about it, but the trailer looks really fun. Like, I think
Would
I'll
you
watch
like
it.
a bit of interesting thing about another film that's coming out this year to do with Shazam? Because Shazam's original name in DC is Captain Marvel, right?
Ooh.
So, but basically, because they kind of accepted, because seeing as Captain Marvel is owned by a company called Marvel, and I know like Marvel and DC are competitors, but they're quite friendly. They're not like
Frenemies.
Yeah, basically no, but they are pretty friendly companies. So they decided to go with, because the wizard who gives Captain Marvel his powers is called Shazam. So just call him Shazam, even though it's the stupidest name that anybody could ever come
I
up
think
with.
it's funny.
anyone.
Like, I think that adds to the humour.
Well, in the trailer you see that it was like when he says, speak my name and my powers or whatever, and he goes, what's your name? And he's like, Shazam. And he's like, are you for real? So they get that it's a joke. And I like this. It's different. DC needs to do something different, because all of their films, apart from Wonder Woman and Aquaman I haven't seen, is apparently great, but they're not doing well. And then this is so different, and I actually, for what I've seen, I think it's actually going to be good.
And then I'm also at the moment a big fan of Netflixy films, and obviously Velvet Buzzsaw, again with Jake Gyllenhaal. Really his year this year is
He's 2 films.
It's only January.
yeah, it is. It's only January. He's in 2 films this year.
Fair enough.
How many films is Brad Pitt in this year?
Yeah.
Anyway. Velvet Buzzsaw does look really good. Also, I enjoy Jake Gyllenhaal playing his classic camp character.
Did you see? There's a bit in the trailer where he's shouting. He's so good at going like bog-eyed, like when his eyes go all weird.
His eyes are quite big.
Yeah, and he just.
I really love Jake. I think Jake Gyllenhaal might actually be like my favourite actor, other than like Tom Hardy, who obviously we all know I love.
You seen Prisoners?
No, I haven't. It's
really
in my
good in
list.
that.
I really want to watch
He's really
it.
good in that, yeah.
And then did we watch the trailer for Us? Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
yes.
The
Yeah.
kind of like pseudo follow-up to Get Out.
Oh, that looks properly creepy. I am excited for it, but I do think it's going to scare me.
It looks
so
brilliant.
good.
The cast. Oh, Lupita Nyong'o's the best.
Because then I think though as well, what you saw of her, like, 'cause basically the premise is that there's like look-alike
Doppelgangers.
Yeah. Of them, but her one of them looks terrifying.
She looks like the one who's in charge, like the one who's like the ringleader of the evil lot.
She looks terrifying.
Talk about just
Creepy.
quickly with the Us. The guy who directs it is Jordan Peele.
Yeah.
He's restarting Twilight Zone, and I think it's going to be great. Looking at Get Out and looking at the trailer for this, Twilight Zone is
does
going to
look
be,
like
and it's a good
very
time to do it when you think of how well Black Mirror does. So
Yeah.
it's good. Well, start Twilight Zone again.
And then again, changing the subject, very like changing the what was it even called, like genre very
Genre.
quickly. Sonic the Hedgehog.
We went from Us to Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay.
Wow.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Have you seen all the weird stuff about his poster? How like weird?
Yeah,
Why is
the
it-
lace
he looks-
look.
Oh.
Like,
To make it even
I
better,
hated
Jim Carrey's in this. Ugh. Anyway, Jim Carrey's playing the bad guy in this. I can't remember the bad guy in Sonic. Dr.
Dr. Eggman.
Is it Eggman?
I think it's Eggman.
Really? I had that in my head, but I just thought that was too stupid.
I think it's Eggman.
Wow.
Tails better be in it. Tails is my G.
Do you know what Tails' full name is?
I did, but I've forgotten it.
His real name is Miles Per Hour, because it sounds like miles per hour.
Wow.
Yeah, Eggman.
It's my favourite joke in the world.
Was that a Taps quiz question?
Yeah,
I
it
can't
was.
remember Alison telling me about that.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Eggman.
But, why is this live action?
No.
It's live action, did you not know?
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No.
Why is it live action? Why is this not animated? It should be. Why is it live action?
No,
It
Eggman's gonna
shouldn't.
be terrifying.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I don't.
Sonic's gonna be terrifying.
I've changed. I don't want to watch
It's a
it.
giant blue hedgehog.
I don't want to watch it anymore. No, Eggman. Just a hedgehog. I could kick it. Oh yeah.
Is he gonna be? Is Sonic gonna be like life size, or is he gonna be
I don't know.
like an actual hedgehog?
Do you know what the best outcome for this film will be? The best this film can be is if it becomes like The Room. Tommy Wiseau's The Room.
Yeah.
The best this film can be is be so bad it becomes a cult movie. That is its ceiling. Alright, this is gonna be the worst thing ever made.
Oh, but then
I can't wait.
so then
It's my most anticipated film of the year.
to be another film that again, like with to be fair, Us and Shazam, I didn't really know much about before is Brightburn. Like I didn't realise about this, but it does look really good.
Which one? I forgot.
Brightburn.
It's the one, like Superman but bad.
If you watch,
Oh
right,
yeah.
and I just kept saying just keep
I'll say
it.
this because
the one that was like, don't kidnap a feral child.
yeah, I know you didn't. I know because obviously you two haven't seen Man of Steel.
No.
Right. If you watch the trailer for Man of Steel and the trailer for Brightburn, beat for beat they're the same up until the turning point of one becoming the great Superman and one becoming the evil. I guess he's called Brightburn. That's what he calls
because his little
himself.
logo was.
Oh, is it two B's back to back? Yeah.
B's.
But in a
Like
nutshell, yeah, he's like ABBA.
I'd also like to. There's also My Chemical Romance song called "Burn Bright," which is about being gay.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow. Maybe it's based on
they
that.
should clearly.
Is that the theme song?
Yeah, does in that film does he laser poor women? Just whatever he does.
But
it's-
it does look good.
In a nutshell, it's just like what if Superman went bad? And there's a lot of parodies on that.
Bad.
There's a lot of parodies on that, but it's nice to
Just
see.
mentioned in Suicide Squad.
No, because there's been a lot of.
Way.
Please stop bringing up Suicide Squad. But there's been a lot of parodies of it in terms of like literature and comic books and stuff like that. But this is the first time they've done it in a film, so I'm looking forward to see how it goes.
And now it's time for extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile, the Ted Bundy film, trailers came out. I believe it was this week, in fact.
It was this
Yeah,
week.
it was this week.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, they're romanticising Ted Bundy, they're making him look handsome and charming, and it's like,
That's
because
how we
he
did
was.
it.
Because then also, it's like I keep seeing people say, like, why do people talk about how Ted Bundy's so smart, and we don't say that about, like, me and my sister were talking about it today, like, Fred West, Richard Ramirez, I always called him Richard Ramirez, and, like, Jeffrey Dahmer. It's like, because Ted Bundy represented himself, like, Ted Bundy was his own lawyer. Ted Bundy was ridiculously intelligent, and, like, yes, he was obviously an awful man. He was extremely wicked, shockingly evil and vile.
Wasn't he caught by accident? Wasn't it just like a lucky fluke that they caught him?
But then he's I don't know if it was that time, but then he managed to escape.
Alright.
And I think, like, it was something stupid, like he twitched his hair part or cut his hair, and then they didn't recognise him.
What, like Superman putting glasses on?
Yes,
literally. Sorry to bring it back. But yeah.
But literally, like, because also I've not seen, other than this, like, disgusting people who were, like, attracted to serial killers.
Creeps.
I've not seen anyone being like, oh, look at this trailer, look how attractive Ted Bundy is.
It's
but
because
I've literally just seen people quoting it and being like, oh, this is romanticising Ted Bundy, and I understand their point fully, but at the same time, it's being told from the point of view of his girlfriend at the time, who 100%, like, who really struggled to see him as had suspicions, but struggled to, like, see him as that person until, like, her friends kept bringing her, like, newspaper articles.
he never gave a fake name either.
Yeah.
He introduced himself as Ted and all of them.
Ted Bundy is honestly terrifying. But yeah, like, I am excited for this film. Like, I think
I'm looking forward to it.
Because I haven't watched My Friend Dahmer yet, but I wanted to.
Do you think this could be a really big breakout for Zac Efron?
Have you seen Bad Neighbours?
Yeah, but I don't think I don't think the Academy take films like Bad Neighbours that seriously. I don't know why, but do you think this could be something that gets him into those kind of talks?
Possibly.
Yeah. Because early reports, people have seen it at Sundance or something, some kind of festival, and apparently he's incredible. He's absolutely incredible.
In the trailer, because I do have an issue where when I watch Zac Efron films, I'm very much like, oh, Troy Bolton.
Yeah.
But I very much in the trailer, I was like, there was no point when I was like, oh, Troy Bolton.
You do get a lot of actors who are known for doing a lot of, like schlock and not very great things, and something like a good example would be Matthew McConaughey. Think for ages. Yeah, but think for ages, right? He didn't do any good films, and then suddenly he's like the best actor going. So, out of nowhere, he's like, you see him in Wolf of Wall Street and Dallas Buyers Club and Interstellar, and you're like, Matthew McConaughey knows what he's doing. Sometimes they just like break out of it, and.
But I do think there is something to be said about, with these serial killers films, it being old Disney actors like Ross Lynch.
Oh yeah.
And then Zac Efron. Like, I don't think they mean to do it, but I do think it is a bit odd.
We're starting to get...
Purely because I think it is, like, young girls will go watch these films.
Is this a new conspiracy theory?
And I do, not even like in that sort of way, I do think that young girls are more likely to be swayed
is correct.
Swayed in the way of more being in the view of, like, oh, this guy's so attractive.
We're starting to get. We're going to get a lot of these serial killer films, aren't we? Think about it. Because you talk about there was the Manson one, there's Ted Bundy one, there's a H.H. Holmes one coming. They're just going to keep churning these out, aren't they? Mindhunters is huge at the moment as well.
I'm quite excited for if they do a Richard Ramirez one, because Richard Ramirez terrifies me. The Night Stalker.
If you're interested in this thing, you need to watch Mindhunters. It's brilliant.
I do think I probably will, but I think we're gonna have to bring it to an end now. So next week are we doing?
Velvet Buzzsaw's out. If you want to talk about that.
Yeah, we could talk about Velvet Buzzsaw next week. Yeah. So next week, as we've just decided we'll do Velvet Buzzsaw. Bye everyone.
Thanks for listening.